Yunnan. Yunnan Chinese. Yunnan is a landlocked province in the southwest of the People's Republic of China. The province spans approximately 394,000 square kilometers, 152,000 sq mi, and has a population of 48.3 million as of 2018. The capital of the province is Kunming. The province borders the Chinese provinces of Guizhou, Sichuan, autonomous regions of Guangxi, and Tibet, as well as Southeast Asian countries, Vietnam, Laos, and Myanmar. Yunnan is China's fourth least developed province based on disposable income per capita in 2014. Yunnan is situated in a mountainous area with high elevations in the northwest and low elevations in the southeast. Most of the population lives in the eastern part of the province. In the west, the altitude can vary from the mountain peaks to river valleys by as much as 3,000 meters (9,800 ft). Yunnan is rich in natural resources and has the largest diversity of plant life in China. Of the approximately 30,000 species of higher plants in China, Yunnan has perhaps 17,000 or more. Yunnan's reserves of aluminium, lead, zinc, and tin are the largest in China, and there are also major reserves of copper and nickel. The Han Dynasty first recorded diplomatic relations with the province at the end of the 2nd century BC, and the province became part of the Silk Road to Buttargarh in Bangladesh. Bangladesh, 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 Bangladesh. The area was ruled over by the Sino-Tibetan speaking Kingdom of Nanzhao 738–937, followed by the Bai-ruled Dali Kingdom 937–1253. After the Mongol invasion of the region in the 13th century, Yunnan was conquered by the Ming dynasty. From the Yuan dynasty onward, the area was part of a central government-sponsored population movement towards the southwestern frontier, with two major waves of migrants arriving from Han-majority areas in northern and southeast China. As with other parts of China's southwest, Japanese occupation in the north during World War II forced another migration of Han people into the region. These two waves of migration contributed to Yunnan being one of the most ethnically diverse provinces of China, with ethnic minorities accounting for about 34% of its total population. Major ethnic groups include Yi, Bai, Hani, Zhuang Dai, and Miao. Yunnan province has also been identified as the birthplace of tea, the first area where humans figured out that eating tea leaves or brewing a cup could be pleasant. Etymology. The name Yunnan first referred to a place when the Han dynasty created Yunnan County near modern Xiamen. During the Tang dynasty, Emperor Xuanzong gave Piluoj, the chief of Nanzhao, the title of King of Yunnan, because Nanzhao originated from Yunnan County. Gradually, the King of Yunnan controlled more and more territory, and Yunnan became the common name of this area. Therefore, the Yuan dynasty created the Yunnan province after he occupied Dali Kingdom. And dynasty literature did not record the etymology of Yunnan, and there are many theories about its origin. One common theory states that the name means south of colorful clouds, Nan. Some annals in the Ming dynasty, for example Dian Lu and Yunnan General Annals Yunnan Tongzhai, support this. However, modern historian Tan Kixing states that this theory is a superficial explanation of the literal meaning. Another common theory is that the name means south of Yun Range Yunling Nan. However, this has been disproven because the name Yunling Mountains first appeared in Tang Dynasty 618–907 literature, but the name Yunnan first appeared during the Han Dynasty 202 BC 220 AD. Modern research gives more conjectures. Yu Zhang said Yunnan means south of the mountain, referring to the Kang Mountain with clouds. Wu Guangfan said Yunnan might be a Laos or by name. History. Prehistory. The Yuanmu man, a Homo erectus fossil unearthed by railway engineers in the 1960s, has been determined to be the oldest known hominid fossil in China. By the Neolithic period, there were human settlements in the area of Lake Dian. These people used stone tools and constructed simple wooden structures. Pre-Nanzhao period. Around the 3rd century BC, the central area of Yunnan around present-day Kunming was known as Dian. The Chu general Zhuangkao entered the region from the upper Yangtze River and set himself up as king of Dian. He and his followers brought into Yunnan an influx of Chinese influence, the start of a long history of migration and cultural expansion. In 221 BC, Qin Shi Huang unified China and extended his authority south. Commanderies and counties were established in Yunnan. An existing road in Sichuan, the 5-foot way, was extended south to around present-day Guizhou in eastern Yunnan. In 109 BC, the Han dynasty invaded Dian during its southern expeditions. Under orders from Emperor Wu, General Guo Chang was sent south to Yunnan, eventually establishing the Yizhou Commandery. By this time, agricultural technology in Yunnan had improved markedly. The local people used bronze tools, plows, and kept a variety of livestock, including cattle, horses, sheep, goats, pigs, and dogs. Anthropologists have determined that these people were related to the people now known as the Thai. They lived in tribal congregations, sometimes led by exiled Chinese. During the Three Kingdoms, the territory of present-day Yunnan, western Guizhou, and southern Sichuan was collectively called Nanzhao. The dissolution of Chinese central authority led to increased autonomy for Yunnan and more power for the local tribal structures. In AD 225, the famed statesman Zhu Jing led 3 columns into Yunnan to pacify the tribes. His 7 captures of Meng Huo, a local magnate, is mythologized in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. In the 4th century, northern China was largely overrun by nomadic tribes from the north. In the 320s, the Quen clan migrated into Yunnan. Quen Chen named himself king and held authority from Lake Dian, then known as Kunchuan. Henceforth, the Quen clan ruled eastern Yunnan for over 400 years. International trade flowed through Yunnan. An ancient overland pre-Tang trade route from Yunnan province passed through Irrawaddy in Burma to reach Bengal. Yunnan was inhabited by so-called barbarians not fully under the control of the Tang government, and the route, though ancient, was not used much in pre-Tang times, and Chinese attempts to control the route were disrupted by the rise of Nanzhao. Nanzhao period. Yunnan was settled by several local tribes, clans, and cultures before the 8th century. Around Lake Erhai, namely the Dali area, there emerged 6 Zhao Mengzi Mengsui, Uxi Yuzai, Langqiang, Dengdin Teng Tan, Shilling Shi Lang, and Mengshi. Mengshi. Zhao was an indigenous non-Chinese language term meaning king or kingdom. Among the 6 regimes, Mengsh was located south of the other 5, therefore, given the new, larger context, it was called Nanzhao, Southern Kingdom. By the 730s, Nanzhao had succeeded in bringing the Erhai Lake area under its authority. In 738, the western Yunnan was united by Piluoj, the 4th king of Nanzhao, who was confirmed by the imperial court of the Tang dynasty as king of Yunnan. Ruling from Dali, the 13 kings of Nanzhao ruled over more than 2 centuries and played a vital role in the dynamic relationship between the Tang dynasty and the Tibetan Empire as a buffer state. By the 750s, Nanzhao had conquered Yunnan and became a potential rival to Tang China. The following period saw several conflicts between Tang China and Nanzhao. In 750, Nanzhao attacked and captured Guizhou, the largest Tang settlement in Yunnan. In 751, Xianyu Zhangtong, the regional commander of Jian and present-day Sichuan, led a Tang campaign against Nanzhao. The king of Nanzhao, Zheluofeng, regarded the previous incident as a personal affair and wrote to Xianyu to seek peace. However, Xianyu Zhangtong detained the Nanzhao envoys and turned down the appeal. Confronted with Tang armies, Nanzhao immediately turned its allegiance to the Tibetan Empire. The Tubo and Nanzhao agreed to be fraternal states. Zheluofeng was given the titles Zanpizhong younger brother. The Nanzhao-Tubo alliance ensured a disastrous defeat for Xianyu's expedition, with the Tang general's army of 80,000 men being reduced to a quarter of its original size. Tang China did not give up after one failure. In 753, another expedition was prepared, but this was also defeated by Nanzhao. In 754, the Tang organized an army of more than 100,000 troops that advanced to the Dali Plain, resulting in only another slaughter. By the end of the 8th century, Tang was no longer a major threat to Nanzhao. Nanzhao's expansion lasted for several decades. In 829, Nanzhao suddenly plundered Sichuan and entered Chengdu. When it retreated, hundreds of Sichuan people, including skilled artisans, were taken to Yunnan. In 832, the Nanzhao army captured the capital of the Paiyu Kingdom in modern Upper Burma. Nanzhao also attacked the Khmer peoples of Zhenla. Generally speaking, Nanzhao was then the most powerful kingdom in mainland Southeast Asia and played an extremely active role in multi-state interactions. In 859, Nanzhao captured Baju, and this event exacerbated the Nanzhao-Tang clashes. When the Tang governor of Annam took Baju back in the following year, Nanzhao, with the help of native peoples, occupied Hanoi as the Tang army moved to Baju. When the Tang forces returned, Nanzhao troops retreated from Hanoi but attacked and plundered Yangzhou. In the winter of 862, Nanzhao, allying with local groups, led an army of over 50,000 men to invade Annam again. It is reported that the Tang forces lost over 150,000 soldiers either killed or captured by Nanzhao in the two Annam battles. The autumn of 866 saw Tang victory in Hanoi, and soon all of the Nanzhao forces were driven away. But Tang China had lost its ability to attack Nanzhao. While Nanzhao was being defeated in Annam, it still occasionally attacked Sichuan. In 869, Shillong, the eighth king and the first empire of Nanzhao, invaded Sichuan. In 874, Nanzhao attacked Sichuan again. In 902, Zheng Meisi, the Qingping Guan, prime minister of Nanzhao, murdered the infant king of Nanzhao and established a short-lived regime, namely Da Chenghe. Nanzhao, a once powerful empire, disappeared. Dali Kingdom. In 937, Duan Siping overthrew the Nanzhao and established the Dali Kingdom. The kingdom was conquered by the Mongol Empire in 1253 after Dali King Duan Xingzhai defected to the Mongols. The Duns incorporated into the Mongol dominion as maharajas of the new province. The Mongolian prince sent to administer the region with them was killed. In 1273, Kublai Khan reformed the province and appointed the Simu Ajol Shams al-Din Omar as its governor. The Yunnan province, during the Yuan dynasty, included significant portions of Upper Burma after the first Mongol invasion of Burma in the 1270s and 1280s. With the fall of the Yuan dynasty in 1368, the Ming dynasty destroyed the Yuan loyalists led by Basilawarmi and the remnants of the House of Duan in the Ming conquest of Yunnan by the early 1380s. Ming and Qing dynasties. The Ming installed Mu Ying and his family as hereditary aristocrats in Yunnan. During the Ming and Qing dynasties, large areas of Yunnan were administered under the native chieftain system. Under the Qing dynasty, a war with Burma also occurred in the 1760s due to the attempted consolidation of borderlands under local chiefs by both China and Burma. Yunnan was a destination for Han Chinese during Yuan rule. Colonizers moved into the area during Ming and Qing rule. During the Ming dynasty, 3 million Han Chinese, mostly from Nanjing, the original Nanjing population, was later largely replaced by Wu speakers, and some from Shaanxi and Hebei settled in Yunnan. Although largely forgotten, the Bloody Panthay rebellion of the Muslim Hui people and other local minorities against the Manchu rulers of the Qing dynasty caused the deaths of up to 1 million people in Yunnan. The Manchu official Shuxinga started an anti-Muslim massacre, which led to the rebellion. Shuxinga developed a deep hatred of Muslims after an incident in which he was stripped naked and nearly lynched by a mob of Muslims. He ordered several Muslim rebels to be slowly sliced to death. Tariq Ali wrote about the real incident in one of his novels and claimed the Muslims who had nearly lynched Singh were not Hui but belonged to another ethnicity. Nevertheless, the Manchu official blamed all Muslims for the incident. A British officer testified that the Muslims did not rebel for religious reasons, and that the Chinese were tolerant of different religions and were unlikely to have caused the revolt by interfering with the practice of Islam. Loyalist Muslim forces helped Qing forces crush the rebel Muslims. The Qing armies massacred only Muslims who had rebelled or supported the rebels and spared Muslims who took no part in the uprising. In 1894, George Ernest Morrison, an Australian correspondent for The Times, travelled from Beijing to British-occupied Burma via Yunnan. His book, An Australian in China, details his experiences. The 1905 Tibetan Rebellion, in which Tibetan Buddhist lamas attacked and killed French Catholic missionaries, spread to Yunnan. Post-Imperial, Yunnan was transformed by the events of Second Sino-Japanese War, which caused many East Coast refugees and industrial establishments to relocate to the province. It assumed strategic significance, particularly as the Burma Road from Lashio, in Burma to Kunming, was a fought-over supply line of vital importance to China's war effort. University faculty and students in the east had originally decamped to Changsha, capital of Hunan. But as Japanese forces were gaining more territory, they eventually bombed Changsha in February 1938. The 800 faculty and students who were left had to flee and made the 1,000-mile journey to Kunming, capital of Yunnan in China's mountainous southwest. It was here that the National Southwest Associated University, commonly known as Lianda University, was established. For 8 years, staff, professors, and students had to survive and operate in makeshift quarters that were subject to sporadic bombing campaigns by the Japanese. There were dire shortages of food, equipment, books, clothing, and other essential needs, but they managed to conduct the running of a modern university. Over those 8 years of war, 1937–1945, both of China's only Nobel laureates in physics studied at Lianda in Kunming. Naturalists, naturalists. Thousands of plant, insect, and mammal species were described in the 19th century by scientists of the French National Museum of Natural History, Paris, in connection with permanent settlements of missionaries of the Missions Étrangères de Paris in northwest Yunnan, among them noticeably Jean-André Solé and Félix Bayet. From 1916 to 1917, Roy Chapman Andrews and Yvette Borup Andrews led the Asiatic Zoological Expedition of the American Museum of Natural History through much of western and southern Yunnan, as well as other provinces of China. The book, Camps and Trails in China, records their experiences. Other notable explorers include Heinrich Handel Mazetti, George Forrest, Joseph Francis Charles Rock, who from 1922–1949 spent most of his time studying the flora, peoples, and languages of southwest China, mainly in Yunnan, and Peter Gallart, a white Russian who studied Naxi culture and lived in Lijiang from 1940. Geography. Yunnan is the most southwestern province in China, with the Tropic of Cancer running through its southern part. The province has an area of 394,100 square kilometers, 152,200 sq mi, 4.1% of the nation's total. The northern part of the province forms part of the Yunnan-Guizhou Plateau. The province borders Guangxi and Guizhou in the east, Sichuan in the north, and the Tibet Autonomous Region in the northwest. It shares a border of 4,060 kilometers (2520 mi) with Myanmar, Kachin, and Shan states in the west, Laos, Luang Namtha, Oudomse, and Phang Sali provinces in the south, and Vietnam, Ha Giang, Lao Cai, Lai Chau, and Dien Bien provinces in the southeast. For practical purposes, all of Yunnan province falls within the Zomia region of Asia. Geology. Yunnan is at the far eastern edge of the Himalayan uplift and was pushed up in the Pleistocene, primarily in the Middle Pleistocene, although the uplift continues into the present. The eastern part of the province is a limestone plateau with karst topography and unnavigable rivers flowing through deep mountain gorges. The main surface formations of the plateau are the Lower Permian Malku Formation, characterized by thick limestone deposits, the Lower Permian Kixia Formation, characterized by dolomitic limestones and dolomites, the Upper Permian basalts of the Ermatian Formation, formerly Omission Plateau basalts, and the red sandstones, mudstones, siltstones. In this area is the noted stone forest or Shillin eroded vertical pinnacles of limestone Malku Formation. In the eastern part, the rivers generally run eastwards. The western half is characterized by mountain ranges and rivers running north and south. Paleontology. Yunnan Lower Cambrian possible chordate. Jinxianosaurus early Jurassic long neck prosauropod dinosaur. Climate. Yunnan has a generally mild climate with pleasant and fair weather because of the province's location on south-facing mountain slopes, receiving the influence of both the Pacific and Indian Oceans, and although the growing period is long, the rugged terrain provides little arable land. See agriculture in Yunnan. Under the Köppen climate classification, much of the province lies within the subtropical highland Köppen CWB or humid subtropical zone CWA, with mild to warm winters and temperate summers, except in the almost tropical to truly tropical south, where temperatures regularly exceed 30°C 86°F in the warmer half of the year. In general, January average temperatures range from 8 to 17°C 46 to 63°F. July averages vary from 21 to 27°C 70 to 81°F. Average annual rainfall ranges from 600 to 2,300 millimeters 24 to 91 in, with over half the rain occurring between June and August. The plateau region has moderate temperatures. The Western Canyon region is hot at the valley bottoms, but there are freezing winds at the mountain tops. Topography. The terrain is largely mountainous, especially in the north and west. A series of high mountain chains spreads across the province. There is a distinct canyon region to the west and a plateau region to the east. Yunnan's major rivers flow through the deep valleys between the mountains. The average elevation is 1980 meters, 6,500 ft. The mountains are highest in the north, where they reach more than 5,000 and 16,000 ft. In the south, they rise no higher than 3,000 and 9,800 ft. The highest point in the north is the Guizhou Peak in Deccan County on the Diking Plateau, which is about 6,740 and 22,110 ft, and the lowest is in the Red River Valley in Hekou County, near the Vietnamese border, with an elevation of 76.4 and 251 ft. The eastern half of the province is a limestone plateau with karst scenery and unnavigable rivers flowing through deep mountain gorges. The western half is characterized by mountain ranges and rivers running north and south. These include Nujiang Tai, Salween, and the Langking Tai Mekong. The rugged vertical terrain produces a wide range of flora and fauna, and the province has been called a natural zoological and botanical garden. Borders. Bordering Chinese provincial-level divisions are Tibet, Sichuan, Guizhou, and Guangxi. Starting from the east and working clockwise, bordering countries are Vietnam Ha Giang, Lao Cai, Lai Chau, and Dien Bien provinces, Laos Phang Sali, Autumn Xe, and Luang Namtha provinces, Myanmar states of Shan and Kachin. The main border crossings are Haku Lao Cai by road and rail is the only Sino-Vietnamese land border crossing open to non-Chinese/non-Vietnamese. Sino-Laotian at Botan. Ruling Muse is the only Sino-Burmese border crossing open to non-Chinese/non-Burmese. Lakes. There are several major lakes in Yunnan. The province has 9 lakes with areas of over 30 square kilometers 12 sq mi. They include Dianchi Lake, near Kunming, Fuxian Lake, in Yuxi, the second deepest lake in China. Xingyan Lake, directly south of Fuxian Lake and connected with it by a short river, short river. Qilu Lake south of Fuxian and Xingyan Lakes separated from them by mountains in Tonghai County. Erhai Lake near Dali City. Lugu Lake in Ninglang near the border with Sichuan and Sichuan. Yangzong Lake in Yiliang County, County. Yulong Lake. Rivers. Yunnan is the source of two rivers, the Zai River there known as the Nanpan and Hongshui, and the Yuan River. The Hongshui is a principal source stream of the Zai River. Rising as the Nanpan in eastern Yunnan province, it flows south and east to form part of the boundary between Guizhou province and Guangxi Autonomous Region. Flowing for 345 km 214 mi, it unites with the Yu River at Gaiping to form what eventually becomes the Zai River. The province is drained by six major river systems. The Yangtze River, here known as the Jinxijiang River of Golden Sands, drains the province's north. The Pearl River, with its source near Guizhou, collects the waters from the east. The Mekong-Lancang, which flows from Tibet into the South China Sea, forming the boundaries between Laos and Burma, between Laos and Thailand, and through Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. The Red River Yuan or Hong has its source in the mountains south of Dali and enters the South China Sea through Hanoi, Vietnam. The Salween Nujing, which flows into the Gulf of Martaban and the Andaman Sea through Burma. The Irrawaddy, which arises from the confluence of two rivers in Kachin State in Burma, has a few small tributaries in Yunnan's far west, such as the Dulingjing and Taiping River, and rivers in the prefecture of Dahong. Biodiversity. Yunnan is China's most diverse province, biologically as well as culturally. The province contains snow-capped mountains and true tropical environments, thus supporting an unusually full spectrum of species and vegetation types. The Yunnan Camellia reticulata is the provincial emblem. During summer, the Great Plateau of Tibet acts as a barrier to monsoon winds, trapping moisture in the province. This gives the alpine flora in particular what one source has called a lushness found nowhere else. This topographic range combined with the tropical moisture sustains extremely high biodiversity and high degrees of endemism, probably the richest botanically in the world's temperate regions. Perhaps 17,000 species of higher plants, of which an estimated 2,500 are endemic, can be found in the province. The province is said Yunnan has less than 4% of the land of China, yet the province harbors around 42.6% of all protected plant species and 72.5% of all protected wild animals in the country, of which 15% are strictly endemic to Yunnan. Yunnan is home to, most notably, the Southeast Asian gore, a giant forest-dwelling bovine. Other extremely rare species are the Yunnan box turtle and the Yunnan snub-nosed monkey. It is feared that the Yunnan lar-gibbon, another moribund species, has already gone extinct. Yunnan province has 11 national and regional nature reserves. In total, the covered protected area in China is about 510 hectares. The freshwater fish fauna is highly diverse with about 620 species, including more than 580 natives. The remaining are introduced. This equals almost 40% of the freshwater fish species in China. Of the Yunnan natives, more than 250 are endemic to the province, and many of these are threatened. Several species that are restricted to single lakes, notably Dian, Erhai, Fuxian, and Yulong, are likely already are extinct. By far, the most diverse order in Yunnan are cypriniforms, both in total species number and number of endemics. The unique Cinepiriforous bioluminescent beetles were described from Yunnan in 2019. Designation. Nation. Yunnan has been designated a Center of Plant Diversity. WWF Davis et al. 1995. Global 200 List Priority Accordion for Biodiversity Conservation. WWF Olsen and Dinerstein 1998. Endemic Bird Area BirdLife International. BBC et al. 1992 and Global Biodiversity Hotspot as a part of the Hengduan Mountain Ecosystem Conservation International, Mittermeier and Mittermeier 1997. Natural resources. A main source of wealth lies in its vast mineral resources. Indeed, mining is the leading industry in Yunnan. Yunnan has proven deposits of 86 kinds of minerals in 2,700 places. Some 13% of the proved deposits of minerals are the largest of their kind in China, and two-thirds of the deposits are among the largest of their kind in the Yangtze River Valley and in South China. Yunnan ranks first in the country in deposits of zinc, lead, tin, cadmium, indium, thallium, and crocidolite. Other deposits include iron, coal, copper, gold, mercury, silver, antimony, and sulfur. More than 150 kinds of minerals have been discovered in the province. The potential value of the proven deposits in Yunnan is 3 trillion yuan, 40% of which come from fuel minerals, 7.3% from metallic minerals, and 52.7% from non-metallic minerals. Yunnan has sufficient rainfall and many rivers and lakes. The annual water flow originating in the province is 200 cubic kilometers, 3 times that of the Yellow River. The rivers flowing into the province from outside at 160 cubic kilometers, which means there are more than 10,000 cubic meters of water for each person in the province. This is 4 times the average in the country. The rich water resources offer abundant hydro energy. China is constructing a series of dams on the Mekong to develop it as a waterway and source of power. The first was completed at Manwen in 1993. Scenic areas, national parks, 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 parks. Fudiquo National Park opened in 2007 in Shangri-La County. Liajunshan National Park, Laojunshan Guojia Yuan in Lijiang, pending approval. UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Old Town of Lijiang, accepted in 1997 as a cultural site. 3 parallel rivers of Yunnan protected areas, accepted in 2003 as a natural site. South China Karst, accepted in 2007 as a natural site. Maoxinshan Shales, accepted in 2012 as a natural site. Cultural landscape of Honghani Rice Terraces, accepted in 2013 as a cultural site. Governance. Administrative divisions. Yunnan consists of 16 prefecture-level divisions, 8 prefecture-level cities, and 8 autonomous prefectures. These 16 prefecture-level divisions are in turn subdivided into 129 county-level divisions, 17 districts, 18 county-level cities, 65 counties, and 29 autonomous counties. At the end of the year 2021, the total population is 48.1 million. 1. Urban areas. Politics, 6, politics, 6, politics. Secretaries of the CPC Yunnan Committee. The Secretary of the CPC is the highest ranking and most important position in Yunnan. Song Renqiang, 1950-1952. Zai Fuzhai, July 1952, August 1959. Yan Hongyan, August 1959, January 1967. Zhu Xing, June 1971, October 1975. Jia Kai Yun, October 1975, February 1977. And Pingsheng, February 1977, July 1985. Pujiaozhu, July 1985, June 1995. Gao Yan, June 1995, August 1997. Linghuan, August 1997, October 2001. By Impei, October 2001, August 2011. Qin August 2011, October 2014. Lai Jiheng, October 2014, August 2016. Chen Hao, August 2016, incumbent governors of Yunnan. The governor is the second highest office in Yunnan, after the secretary of the CPC Yunnan Committee. The governor, who is elected by the Yunnan Provincial People's Congress, is responsible for all economic, environmental, political, personnel, and foreign affairs issues concerning Yunnan. Chen March 1950, February 1955. Guo Yingqiu, February 1955, November 1958. Ding Yichuan, November 1958, January 1965. Zhu January 1965-1966. Tan Furen, August 1968, October 1970. Zhu October 1970, October 1975. Jia Kai Yun, October 1975, February 1977. And Pingsheng, February 1977, December 1979. Liu Minghui, December 1979, April 1983. Pujiaozhu, April 1983, August 1985. Hijai August 1985, January 1998. Lai Jiating, January 1998, June 2001, Pan 2001. Zurongkai, June 2001, November 2006. Qin January 2007, August 2011. Lai Jiheng, August 2011, October 2014. Chen Hao, October 2014, incumbent. Demographics. Ethnicity. Yunnan is noted for a very high level of ethnic diversity. It has the highest number of ethnic groups among the provinces and autonomous regions in China. Among the country's 56 recognized ethnic groups, 25 are found in Yunnan. Some 38% of the province population are members of ethnic minorities, including the Yibai, Hani, Tai, Dai, Miao, Lisu, Hui, Laho, Wa, Nakhai, Yao, Tibetans, Jingpo, Blang, Pumi, Niu, Achang, Jinuo, Mongols, Durong, Manchus, Sui, and Baye. Several other groups are represented, but they live neither in compact settlements nor do they reach the required threshold of 5,000 to be awarded the official status of being present in the province. Some groups, such as the Masuo, who are officially recognized as part of the Naxi, have in the past claimed official status. Ethnic groups are widely distributed in the province. Some 25 minorities live in compact communities, each of which has a population of more than 5,000. 10 ethnic minorities living in border areas and river valleys include the Hui, Manchus, Bai, Naxi, Mongols, Zhuang, Dai, Achang, Baye, and Shui with a combined population of 4.5 million. Those in low mountainous areas are the Hani, Yao, Laho, Va, Jingpo, Blang, and Jino, with a combined population of languages. Most dialects of the Chinese language spoken in Yunnan belong to the southwestern subdivision of the Mandarin group, and are therefore very similar to the dialects of neighboring Sichuan and Guizhou provinces. Notable features found in many Yunnan dialects include the partial or complete loss of distinction between finals / and / and /ng/, as well as the lack of /y/. In addition to the local dialects, most people also speak Standard Chinese Putonghua, commonly called Mandarin, which is used in the media, by the government, and as the language of instruction in education. Yunnan's ethnic diversity is reflected in its linguistic diversity. Languages spoken in Yunnan include Tibeto-Burman languages such as Bai, Yi Tibetan, Hani, Jingpo, Lisu, Lahu, Naxi, Tai language is like Shuang, Baoyi, Dong Shui, Tai Lu and Tai Nua, as well as Hmong-Mien languages. The Naxi, in particular, use the Damba script, which is the only pictographic writing system in use in the world today. The Damba script was mainly used to provide the Damba priests with instructions on how to carry out their rituals. Today, the Damba script features more as a tourist attraction. Perhaps the best-known Western Damba scholar was Joseph Rock. Literacy. By the end of 1998, among the province's population, 419,800 had received college education or above, 2.11 million senior middle school education, 8.3 million junior middle school education, 18.25 million primary school education, and 8 religion. According to a demographic analysis of religions in Yunnan, as of 2005, the province has around 4 million believers of the 5 government-sanctioned, organized religious doctrines of China, almost 90% of them belonging to the ethnic minorities. Of these, 2.6 million, or about 6% of the total population, are Buddhists, 620,000, or 1.4%, are Muslims, 530,000 or 1.2% are Protestants, 240,000 or 0.5% are Taoists. Note that Taoist traditionally only defines priests. 66,000 or 0.1% are Catholics. According to surveys conducted in 2004 and 2007, in those years, approximately 32.22% of the province's population was involved in worship of ancestors and 2.75% declared a Christian identity. Most of the population of the province practices traditional indigenous religions, including the Chinese folk religion among the Han Chinese, Bimoism among the Yi peoples, and Benjuism among the Bai people. The Dai people are one of the few ethnic minorities of China that traditionally follow the Theravada branch of Buddhism, making Yunnan the only province in China where all 3 major Buddhist shuls are widely practiced. Most of the Hui people of the region are Muslims. Christianity is dominant among the Lisu, the Jingpo, and the Durong ethnic groups. Agriculture. The region maintains a strong agricultural focus. Agriculture is restricted to the few upland plains, open valleys, and terraced hillsides. Level land for agriculture is extremely scarce, and only about 5% of the province is under cultivation. Rice is the main crop, corn, barley, wheat, rapeseed, sweet potatoes, soybeans as a food crop, tea, sugarcane, tobacco, and cotton are also grown. On the steep slopes in the west, livestock is raised and timber, a valuable resource, is cut teak in the southwest. Yunnan produces most of coffee grown in China, although there are also much smaller plantations in Fujian and Hainan. Large-scale coffee cultivation started in Yunnan in 1988. The most commonly grown variety in the province is Katamar. Tobacco is the main export product and makes up a big part of the provincial GDP. Furthermore, Yunnan has a strong competitive potential in the fruit and vegetable industries, especially in low-value added commodities such as fresh and dried vegetables and fresh apples. Yunnan is one of the regions in the world with the most abundant resources of wild edible mushrooms. In China, there are 938 kinds of edible mushrooms, and over 800 varieties can be found in Yunnan. In 2004, around 7,744 tons of wild edible mushrooms were exported, making up for 70% of the total export of this product in China. The so-called pine mushroom is the main product in Yunnan and is exported to Japan in large quantities. Due to China's growing consumption of dairy products, Yunnan's dairy industry is also developing very rapidly and is also aiming to export to its ASEAN neighbors. The flour industry in Yunnan province started to develop towards the end of the 1980s. Yunnan province accounts for 50% of China's total cut flour production. The size of the planting area for cut flowers in Yunnan province amounts to 4,000 hectares. In 2003, the output totaled 2.3 billion stems. In 2002, the flour industry in Yunnan had a total output of RMB 3.4 billion. Export amounted to US$18 million. Apart from sales on the domestic market, Yunnan also exports to a number of foreign countries and regions such as Japan, Korea, Hong Kong, Thailand, and Singapore. Economy. As of the mid-19th century, Yunnan exported birds, brass, tin, gemstones, musk, nuts, and peacock feathers mainly to stores in Guangzhou. They imported silk, wool and cotton cloth, tobacco and books. Yunnan is one of China's relatively undeveloped provinces with more poverty-stricken counties than the other provinces. In 1994, about 7 million people lived below the poverty line of less than an annual average income of 300 yuan per capita. They were distributed in the province's 73 counties mainly and financially supported by the central government. With an input of 3.15 billion yuan in 2002, the absolutely poor rural population in the province has been reduced from 4.5 million in 2000 to 2.86 million. The Poverty Alleviation Plan includes 5 large projects aimed at improving infrastructure facilities. They involve planned attempts at soil improvement, water conservation, electric power, roads, and green belt building. Upon the completion of the projects, the province hopes this will alleviate the shortages of grain, water, electric power, and roads. Yunnan lags behind the east coast of China in relation to socio-economic development. However, because of its geographic location, the province has comparative advantages in regional and border trade with countries in Southeast Asia. The Langking River upper reaches of Mekong River is the waterway to Southeast Asia. In recent years, land transportation has been improved to strengthen economic and trade cooperation among countries in the greater Mekong subregion. Yunnan's abundance in resources determines that the province's pillar industries are agriculture, tobacco, mining, hydroelectric power, and tourism. In general, the province still depends on the natural resources. The secondary sector is currently the largest industrial tier in Yunnan, contributing more than 45% of GDP. The tertiary sector contributes 40% and agriculture 15%. Investment is the key driver of Yunnan's economic growth, especially in construction. The main challenge that Yunnan faces is its lack of major development. Its low productivity and competitiveness restrict the rapid development of the province. The province also faces great challenges in social issues such as environmental protection, poverty elimination, illegal migration, drug trafficking, and HIV/AIDS. Yunnan's 4 pillar industries include tobacco, agriculture/biology, mining, and tourism. The main manufacturing industries are iron and steel production and copper smelting, commercial vehicles, chemicals, fertilizers, textiles, and optical instruments. Yunnan has trade contacts with more than 70 countries and regions in the world. Yunnan established the Muse Border Trade Zone located in Ruli along its border with Burma. Yunnan mainly exports tobacco, machinery and electrical equipment, chemical and agricultural products, and non-ferrous metals. In 2008, its total two-way trade imports and exports reached US$9.06 billion. The province signed foreign direct investment contracts involving US$69 billion, of which US$777 million were actually utilized during the year. Yunnan's unemployment rate at the end of 2008 was 4.21%. Yunnan's nominal GDP in 2011 was 875.1 billion yuan, $138.92 billion, an annual growth rate of 13.7%. Its per capita GDP was 13,494 yuan, $1975. The share of GDP of Yunnan's primary, secondary, and tertiary industries were 17.9%, 43%, and 39.1% respectively. Yunnan is one of the major production bases of copper, lead, zinc, tin, and aluminum in China. Jeju is well known as the Kingdom of Zinc, with the reserves ranked first in the country. The Guangxi brand refined tin is one of the main products in Guizhou, which is registered on the London Metal Exchange LME. Besides reserves of germanium, indium, zirconium, platinum, rock salt, sylvite, nickel phosphate, murrabelite, arsenic, and blue asbestos are also high. Significant copper deposits are found at Dongchuan, iron ore at Wuding, and coal at Chuanwei and Kaiyuan. Economic policy to locate new industry in interior areas with substantial mineral wealth led to major industrial development in Yunnan, especially in the Kunming area. The electricity industry is another important economic pillar of Yunnan, which plays a key role in the West-East electricity transmission project. The electricity produced in Yunnan is mainly transported to Guangdong. Economic and technological development zones. Education. Since the 1960s, improvements have been achieved in the overall educational level, which can be seen in the increase in average years of regular education received. The development of part-time schools have brought adult, distance and continuing education to farms, factories, offices, and other places. Evening, time off work/study leave classes allow people to receive education without leaving their jobs. Policies to upgrade adult education have begun to complement the campaign against illiteracy. A basic Chinese vocabulary in simplified strokes is taught to millions of illiterate people in short, intensive courses. Despite progress made, Yunnan's illiteracy rate remains one of the highest in China, mainly due to insufficient education among minority peoples. In higher education, Yunnan has one national key university, Yunnan University in Kunming. There is also a growing number of technical schools, among which the most prominent are the Yunnan Normal University, the Southwest Forestry University, Yunnan Agricultural University, Yunnan Academy of Agricultural Sciences, Kunming Medical University, Yunnan University of Traditional Chinese Medicine, and Kunming University of Science and Technology. Other notable establishments of learning are the Kunming branch of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, the Yunnan Astronomical Observatory, and the Yunnan Provincial Library. As of 2000, there were 24 institutions of higher learning in Yunnan, with an enrollment of over 90,400 students and a faculty of 9,237, 2562 secondary schools with an enrollment of more than 2,137,400 students and 100. The gross enrollment rate of school-age children was 99.2%. See also List of universities and colleges in Yunnan. Health. Yunnan province is responsible for about 50% of officially reported malaria cases in China. It is presently considered to be the main source of plague in China. HIV-AIDS. HIV/AIDS in Yunnan. Transport. Railways. The first railway in Yunnan was the narrow-gauge Yunnan-Vietnam Railway, built by France from 1904 to 1910 to connect Kunming with Vietnam, then a French colony. In Yunnan, the Chinese section of this railway is known as the Yunnan-Hekou Railway, and the line gave Yunnan access to the seaport at Haiphong. During the Second World War, Britain and the United States began building a railway from Yunnan to Burma, but abandoned the effort due to Japanese advance. Due in part to difficult terrain both locally and in surrounding provinces, and the shortage of capital for rail construction, Yunnan remained outside of China's domestic rail network until 1966, when the Guiyang-Kunming Railway was completed. The line would not enter into operation until 1970, the same year that the Chengdu-Kunming was completed. The Nanning-Kunming Railway to Guangxi was completed in 1997, followed by the Nanjing-Kunming Railway in 2001. The Panxi Railway, originally built in 1975 to draw coal from neighboring Guizhou, was electrified in 2001 and adds to eastern Yunnan's outbound rail transport capacity. Within the province, the Kunming Yuxi opened in 1993, and the Guangdong Dali, opened in 1998, expanded the rail network to southern and western Yunnan, respectively. The Dali Railway, opened in 2010, brought rail service to northwestern Yunnan. That line is planned to be extended further north to Zamjinilha County. The province is extending the railway network to neighboring countries in Southeast Asia. From Yuxi, the Yuxi-Mengzi Railway, built from 2005 to 2013, and the Mengzi-Hekou Railway, under construction since 2008, will form a standard gauge railway connection with Vietnam. The Dali Railway, under construction since May 2011, will bring rail service to the border with Myanmar. Also under planning is a rail line from Yuxi to Mohan in Sichuan Prefecture, on the border with Laos. This line could be extended further south to Thailand, Malaysia and Singapore. Burma Road. The Burma Road was a highway extending about 1,100 kilometers, 680 miles through mountainous terrain from Lashio, northeast Burma northeastward to Kunming, China. Undertaken by the Chinese after the start of the Sino-Japanese War in 1937 and completed in 1938. It was a vital transportation route for wartime supplies to the Chinese government from Rangoon and shipped by railroad to Lashio from 1938 to 1946. An extension runs east through China from Kunming, then north to Chongqing. This traffic increased in importance to China after the Japanese took effective control of the Chinese coast and of Indochina. It was seized by the Japanese in 1942 and reopened when it was connected to the Stillwell Road from India. The Lido Road, later called the Stillwell Road from Lido, India into Burma, was begun in December 1942. In 1944, the Lido Road reached Maitkina and was joined to the Burma Road. Both roads have lost their former importance and are in a state of disrepair. The Burma Road's importance diminished after World War II, but it has remained a link in a 3,400 km road system from Yangon, Burma, to Chongqing. Highways. Road construction in Yunnan continues unabated. Over the last years, the province has added more new roads than any other province. Today, expressways link Kunming through Dali to Baoshan, Kunming to Mojiang on the way to Jinghang, Kunming to Guizhou, Kunming to Shilin Stone Forest. The official plan is to connect all major towns and neighboring capitals with expressways by 2010 and to complete a high-speed road network by 2020. All county towns are now accessible by pave. Second-level national highways stretch 958 km 595 mi. Third-level highways 7,571 km 4,704 mi and fourth-level highways 52,248 km 32,465 mi. The province has formed a network of communication lines radiating from Kunming to Sichuan and Guizhou provinces and Guangxi and Tibet autonomous regions and further on to Burma. National highways running through Yunnan province are China National Highway 108, China National Highway 213, China National Highway 214, China National Highway 320, China National Highway 323, China National Highway 324, China National Highway 326. Expressways. After the opening of the Sulongsi to Pingyuanji section, Luofu Expressway, the first between Yunnan and Guangxi Province, opened in October 2007. It has made material and passenger transportation between the two provinces much more convenient. Moreover, Luofu Expressway has also become the main road from Yunnan to Guangxi and the coastal ports. Luofu Expressway begins from the crossroads of Luo village between Yunnan and Guangxi provinces and ends at Funing County of Wenshan State. The total length of the expressway is 79.3 kilometers, which has shortened the commute between Yunnan. Expressways running through Yunnan province are Kunming-Bangkok Expressway J8511 Kunmo Expressway, G5611 Dali Expressway from Dali to Lijiang, Lijiang and Lijiang, 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 Lijiang and Lijiang, Lijiang and Lijiang, 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 and Lijiang. G78 Shankan Expressway from Shantou to Kunming. JT Guangxi Expressway from Guangzhou to Kunming. J1011 Kai Expressway from Kaiyuan to Hekou on the Vietnamese border. Waterways. Generally, rivers are obstacles to transport in Yunnan. Only very small parts of Yunnan's river systems are navigable. However, China is constructing a series of dams on the Mekong to develop it as a waterway and source of power. The first was completed at Manwan in 1993. In 1995, the province put an investment of 171 million yuan into add another 807 km 51 live navigation lines. It built 2 wharfs with an annual handling capacity of 300,000 to 400,000 tons each and 4 wharfs with an annual handling capacity of 100,000 tons each. The annual volume of goods transported was 2 million tons and that of passengers transported, 2 million. Airports. The province has 20 domestic air routes from Kunming to Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Chengdu, Hekou, Chongqing, Shenyang, Harbin, Wuhan, Xi'an, Lanzhou, Hangzhou, Xiamen, Nanning, Shenzhen, Guiyang, Changsha, Guilin, Lhasa, and Hong Kong, 11 provincial air routes from Kunming to Jinghang, Mangxi. Replacing Kunming Wujiaba International Airport is Kunming Changshui International Airport, which opened June 28, 2012. Bridges. Bridge building in Yunnan date back at least 1300 years when the Tibetan Empire built an iron chain bridge over the Yangtze to the neighboring Nanzhao Kingdom at what is today Guangxi Lisu Autonomous County during the Tang Dynasty. Iron chain bridges are still found across high river valleys of Yunnan. The Jinlong Bridge on the Jinshe River in Lijiang remains the oldest bridge over the Yangtze. With the expansion of the highway and railway network in Yunnan, numerous large-scale bridges have been built across the region's myriad of rivers, including the Yangtze, which has dozens of crossings in Yunnan. Metro. Kunming is the only city in Yunnan that has a metro system. As of October 2018, it has 4 lines in operation. Culture. Yunnan's cultural life is one of remarkable diversity. Archaeological findings have unearthed sacred burial structures holding elegant bronzes in Jining, south of Kunming. In northeastern Yunnan, frescoes of the Jin dynasty 266–420 have been discovered in the city of Yunnan. Many Chinese cultural relics have been discovered in later periods. The lineage of tribal way of life of the indigenous peoples persisted uninfluenced by modernity until the mid-20th century. Tribal traditions, such as slaveholding and wahed hunting, have since been abolished. After the Cultural Revolution 1966–76, in which several minority cultural and religious practices were suppressed, Yunnan has come to celebrate its cultural diversity, and subsequently many local customs and festivals have flourished. 18 oddities of Yunnan. Cuisine. Tea. Yunnan has several different tea growing regions. One of Yunnan's best-known products is Pu'er tea or Pure, named after the old tea trading town of Pu'er Pure. The province is also known for its Yunnan Gold and other Dianhong teas, developed in the 20th century. Music. Chinese medicine. Yunnan is host to 15,000 species of plants, including 60% of the plants used in traditional Chinese medicine. Yunnan Beiyao. Tourism. Yunnan Province, due to its landscapes, mild climate, and cultural diversity, is one of China's major tourist destinations. Most visitors are Chinese tourists, although trips to Yunnan are organized by an increasing number of foreign travel agencies as well. Mainland tourists travel by the masses. 2.75 million Chinese visited Yunnan last October during national holiday. Also, a different trend is slowly developing small-scale and environmentally friendly ecotourism. At the moment, projects in this field are often being set up with help of NGO. In 2004, tourism revenues amounted to 37 billion RMB and thus accounting for 12.6% of the provincial GDP. Another fact indicating the importance of tourism in Yunnan province is capital Kunming hosting the China International Travel Mart every 2 years. This tourism trade fair is the largest of its kind in Asia and serves as an important platform for professionals in the sector. More than 80 countries and regions were present during the 2005 edition. Tourism is expected to grow further. In 2010, the province welcomed over 2.3 million overseas tourists, and the Yunnan Provincial Tourism Bureau aims to draw 4.3 million overseas arrivals under the 12th five-year tourism development plan. Kunming City is expected to add 11 new mid to high-end hotels with an inventory of under 4,000 rooms between 2012 and 2016. The Nature Conservancy and the Chinese government came together to form a partnership and explore the possibility of bringing adventure tourism onto the rivers of southwest China. A 2-month whitewater expedition explored from the Mekong River's Moon Gorge to Yangtze River's Great Bend. The expedition provided valuable information to the partnership, encouraging them to take into account the safety, culture, economics, and conservation of the Yunnan province. Creating an adventure tourism sector would bring valuable economic resources to the economically struggling population, who had once relied on logging as income prior to it being banned due to deforestation. Tourist centers in Yunnan include Dali, the historic center of the Nanzhao and Dali Kingdoms; Chuxing, the first stop on the way to Dali and Lijiang, home of the Yi ethnic minority and their respective ancient town; Jinghong, the center and prefectural capital of the Sichuan Banadai minority autonomous prefecture; Lijiang, a Naxi minority city. It has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1997. Zamjinil, a county also known as Shangri-La and formerly Zhongdian, an ethnic Tibetan township and county set high in Yunnan's northwestern mountains. Shilin Stone Forest, a series of karst outcrops east of Kunming. Yuanyang, a Han minority settlement with vast rice-terraced mountains. Sichuan Bana, a national scenic resort, noted for its natural and cultural attractions. Places of interest: Black Dragon Pool, Feishuatai, Shuatai, Kangshan, Erhai Lake, Ganlin Basin, Green Lake Park, Jade Dragon Snow Mountain, Langking River Mekong River, Manting Park Chunhuan Park in Jinghong, Meili Snow Mountain in Deccan, Fujian Temple, Sanchet Nature Reserve in Jinghong, Shopping Market, Dalit, Dalit, Dalu, Shaxi, Stone Forest, 3 pagodas, Tengchong Hot Springs, Tiger Leaping Gorge, Visitor Center for Nature and Culture in Northwest Yunnan, Waste Markets, near Dalu, Sichuan Bana Tropical Flower and Plant Garden, Yuantong Temple, Yunnan Provincial Museum. Sport. Professional sporting teams in Yunnan have included the now-defunct Yunnan Bulls in the Chinese Basketball Association and Yunnan Hongtu in the Chinese Jia League. The Yunnan Lijiang Dongbei football team currently competes in China League 2.